medical, BPO, process engineering, telecommunication.
We want you.
If you are the right candidates, please go to PYDC website for more details.
Penang is full of career opportunities, especially for the young people. It is a great place to live and work.
Discover your career opportunity from PYDC website. Your future starts here in Penang.
Because of you, we focus on every little detail, exploring every delicate chapter on the journey. We believe everyone is capable of endless possibilities. Follow the vision in every step. We found excitement. With your blessing, we have unlimited strength, bringing out our best and sustaining it at all times. This is important to us. Our essence is most grounded when we are contributing, all of us, at each and every moment, uniting us to walk the right path. As we aid others, we are learning from the trials of everyday life. It recalls us to value the first thing that actually matters. It is you who have made us different. This is our journey towards greatness.
Fresh from school with 1 or 2 experience,
positive thinking,
bercita-cita tinggi,
Energetic,
good attitude,
passionate people,
disciplined, and willing to learn.
The age is not important.
SPM, or diploma, or degree.
we want you.
NationGate is in the midst of expansion.
We are looking for young people like you. Join us at 10 Performance Penang.
Vitrox is hiring.
Cameron Security,
UWC, Professional Tool and Dies.
Easyway Solution Security Company.
If you are looking for a career with a high growth company,
Go to PYDC website to submit your CV to us. Content moderation, customer service executive,
Security guard, security assistant,
IT web developers, multimedia designers.
engineering staff, technical staff,
Trainer, lecturer,
supervisors. Young people, we want you.
Andalah yang kami tunggu dan andalah yang kami cari. Anda dapat bekerja dalam persekitaran kerja yang positif serta diberi pendedahan dan latihan yang luas.
Go to PYDC website, send your resume to us.
Otomotif,
Aviation,
oil and gas.
medical,
BPO,
process engineering, telecommunication,
We want you.
If you are the right candidates, please go to PYDC website for more details.
Penang is full of career opportunities, especially for the young people. It is a great place to live and work.
Discover your career opportunity from PYDC website. Your future starts here in Penang.
Because of you, we focus on every little detail, exploring every delicate chapter on the journey. We believe everyone is capable of endless possibilities. Follow the vision in every step. We found excitement. With your blessing, we have unlimited strength, bringing out our best and sustaining it at all times. This is important to us. Our essence is most grounded when we are contributing, all of us, at each and every moment, uniting us to walk the right path. As we aid others, we are learning from the trials of everyday life. It recalls us to value the first thing that actually matters. It is you who have made us different. This is our journey towards greatness.
Let's welcome Ms. Kylene from Skybi. She is a registered counsellor and she's also the Vice President of Operation in Skybi and a HRDF certified trainer. So Ms. Kylie, she will be sharing about career development and adaptability in this industrial revolution for employers and employees. So let's welcome Ms. Kylie. Over to you, Ms. Kylie.
Thank you. Thank you for Miss. So I'll just share my screen over here, right? Let me see, where is my screen? All right, am I sharing my screen now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I'll come for, let's just watch for a short video to know more about industrial revolutions. I think most of you already know that, but just spend some time with me, just for Lorna. Yep. Do we have the sound there?
No sound.
Okay.
So you may want to press share and that's enable sound and optimize for video.
I see. Hold on.
Yep.
Where is the button? Optimize for video clip, is it?
Yep, or optimize for video clip and enable sound.
Okay, so just let me try again.
And even rely on it in our personal lives. We also find our workplaces digitally evolving. What is Industry 4.0 and what does it mean for you?
Okay, what happened?
Technology is driving change across all areas of society. Not only do we increasingly use it and even rely on it in our personal lives, we also find our workplaces digitally evolving, with more and more processes now being undertaken using technology. This change is known as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, or Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 will see many tasks that were once performed by us now being automated. With the collection and analysis of real-time data, artificial intelligence, and the ability for all components of a production line to talk to each other, production can be really efficient and personalized according to customer needs. But what does this mean for us? With increased automation, our time will be freed up for concentrating on more complex tasks. We will need a workforce who are capable of building, programming and developing these technologies, but also making sure we are applying them to our lives in an ethical way. There are core skills that we can offer that technology cannot replace. The human touch is going to be incredibly important, ensuring effective communication, problem solving and supporting change management in this digital environment. There will also be a greater need for joint working across disciplines, creating new innovations. The future job market will be looking for graduates with an open mind to explore the unknown future possibilities. We will all need to develop our skills in order to embrace, adapt to this ever-changing environment. What will you do to make sure you are ready and have the right skills to thrive in the Fourth Industrial Revolution?
Thank you very much.
What?
So, after you have seen the videos, I suppose you already know that what does it mean by the industrial revolutions. It focused more on the automations and the digital things, and then of course the big data as well. So how can we develop our career? How can the employees and employers has developed this career and then adapt to this revolution? Okay, this is what I'm going to talk about in this morning. And hi everyone, I'm Kylie from Skybi. And first of all, I would like to wish all of you, especially for job seekers, that all the best to your career developments. Okay, I heard that from the organizer says that there are 7,000 vacancies in here. Congratulations for that. And then I hope all the best to you all, and then get ready and then just apply the jobs that, appealing to you. So the first thing why I congratulate you in, looking for your career developments and not just, finding for a job, because I encourage you to look for a career instead of looking for a job, just like previous, I think it's yesterday's speakers. He also shared his experience and also advised that for the youth nowadays, and then to look for a career instead of a job. Now, what is career then? Okay, career is something that, you work for a task, you work for a job that for a long time, and you kind of values that. Okay, so we want to develop our career, and we don't say we develop our job. There's no such terms. So what is career developments to you? Career development is something that, it's a process. We can't just stop one's development. Okay, in your lifetime, you just gradually and process developing yourself in skills, in your physical strengths, all these things. So career development itself is a process that you learned, you manage, okay? You work through over entire of your lifespan. So in career developments, you need to focus on knowing what's your values in, okay? What's your interest in, and then what kind of skills that you have, which can boost up your developments, okay? Which can boost up also your careers along your lifespan. So if you're a youth now, looking for, if you're a fresh graduate now and then looking for a job, I encourage you to explore yourself, your career values, your career interests and skills. But not only for the fresh graduate. Actually, nowadays, like Mr. Henry just now shared, that a lot of companies has been resetting, reforming, and then a lot of us, because of the pandemic, and we go through the career transitions ourselves. Okay, from maybe from working in the office, and then we transit to working from home now. So there are a lot of things that we might want to relearn. For example, the skills of technologies. Okay, so these are the things also you need to understand where's your limits is and where's your weakness. Like for me, instance, last time, as you can see that I'm not really familiar with the Zoom. My university doesn't taught me anything in Zoom. So, and working because of the pandemic, and then we have turned everything into the Zoom meetings and then Zoom communications in the teams. So I have to learn how to use the Zoom. So in terms of that, we as the employers or employees, we are in the field already. So in this transition period, in this career transition period, we need to know that, what kind of skills that we need to retrain ourselves to live in, to develop more in our lifespan, especially in our career life. Okay, that's why I encourage you to look in your interests and your skills again, right? Now, for those fresh graduates, if you already know yourself, your career values, your career interests, and your career skills, you may want to, research for the markets, like what Mr. Henry just said, that, nowadays, your markets, your employers might prefer hiring the freelancer. So how can you explore these markets? How can you explore your interest, the career interest that you are interested to do and you are interested to become? And then is there any freelance markets over outside there? Okay, so you might want to do some research on your industry trends, market trends, and then some occupational research, and then see what kind of options, okay, explore your options so that you can plan for your career developments. That's what I'm going to share today. So once you already decided and explore what kind of options you have, you're focused. Okay, you need to take some actions in like how to get to there. So these are career development involving knowing yourself, explore your options, and then get focused, make the decisions, and then take an actions on it. Okay, so why career development? It's important for you. Why career development? Why talk about career development in these revolutions? Because job is just giving you some short-term rewards. Okay. Now, for some career transitions, you might need, maybe in your crisis stage, you might need the job. You don't consider that as your career. But after you get a job, maybe you want to develop more. Maybe you want to think more. How to make the jobs to become your career. Why career is important is because career creates the values within your life. Okay, what kind of values I'm talking about? It's when we talk about careers, it's something that, you know, you find some meanings in there. You love that job. You would like to drive in. Like Mr. Henry said, it's like an interest already. For me, myself, as a counselor, and then I teach for 10 years in counseling programs. And then this is my passion. And I find it, you know, I can work through all nights and then just to, you know, find out new information in the career, in counseling things. And then a new therapist comes in and then I would like to know what happens there because I'm passionate in it and I'm interested in this area. So I see career as, you know, there are some meanings in my life. So I love it and then I strive for it. So that is what I want to share, that why I encourage you to put, you know, to see a job and to seek a job and then turn it into your own career. Okay, because that's where your achievement, sense of accomplishments and happiness and satisfactions come from. So if you're in, you know, in your job right now, as you are one of the company's employees now, maybe you would like to see, like, in your position right now, what is your values in it? Okay, do you satisfied with your jobs now? Do you satisfied with your positions, your job tasks, and everyday life now? If you're not really satisfied, you might want to rethink again. Like, what's your purpose in your life? Okay, what kind of accomplishments you want to achieve? What kind of goals that you want to achieve that makes you, you know, satisfied for your work and life? Okay, this is what we can share. And because of this, for the revolutions, the industry revolutions parts, we are actually in it already, no matter you like it or not. Okay, so how can us, employers or employees, lead through the revolutions over here? Now, based on the videos that I just shared, that you can actually know that we are already inside these eras, inside the industry 4.0. So you see a lot of automations, you know, the seek for connections, especially the connections under the customer service part. Okay, so there are a lot of connections, cloud computing, Internet of Things, all these things, big data, those things. And, you know, what I like about Dr. Yuval, just mentioned in his books, very, very famous book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, that he was afraid, he come out a very, very, a very hot topic of the discussions of, you know, the industry, the big data, ethics, those things. It's very interesting, but it is not our main point in this talk. When we talk about Yuval is because when he talked about these big data, when he talked about this industry 4.0, and he was afraid that, you know, some sort of jobs, you know, because of these automations, because of the big data, it can wipe up some of the jobs. Was it true? Is it the truth? Is his worries, you know, worth it to explore? Yes, it does. Okay. Now we know that some of the cars, especially in China's and Germans, you know, they already have the auto cars. Okay, no drivers, and then, you know, you just have to have and install the the sensors, and then, use all these technologies, advanced technologies, and then you can just drive a long ways, okay, without, losing yourself. So does it mean that there's no driver, there's no taxis anymore in the future? Think about this. Okay, the Industry 4.0, the technologies itself, the big data itself, the system integrations, all these things, okay, can help us to convenience our life. It might reduce some of the job opportunity, but think about it. When things has been closed, there are some things emerge. Means that still the drivers maybe, wipe out a bit, but then there are more opportunities, more career opportunities is going to, emerge. Like you can search through these career fairs. I have a search through on that. And then, out of 7,000 of the vacancies, I guarantee you, half of it are looking for the software engineers. And then so marketing, digital marketing, SEO engineers, all these. Okay, so these are the vacancies that, 20 years ago, I don't see it. Okay, I don't see that in the market. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there's not so many of people talk about digital marketing. Okay, but look at now. I think it's become a trend, like Mr. Henry says, that it's become a trend that a lot of us, especially in this pandemic, look for SEO services and then look for, how to use the technologies into our companies and then see whether it can, save up a lot of the humans' energies and then let those people think to do more complicated stuff. Okay, so these are things that Malaysia has been emerged for using the technologies, as you can see. Okay, even though our Academy of Science Malaysia even proceed, okay, even predict that and beyond 2020, the technology's future can actually go to 4D or 5D. Basically, I'm not really experienced in the technology stuff. I'm not sure how the 3D printing can advance to 4D or 5D, but okay, but I do know one thing, okay, the words never stop for researching in the technologies. I know one thing for that. You see, from 2G, 3G, the smartphone, 3G, 4G, now 5G. So what stops us? So for employers as you, how you can develop your career? What do you see in your career? And what is your company's visions? What is your company's values? Your company is interested in where? Your audience clients plight, okay, your clients pool are where? Okay, what kind of skills that you're looking for to develop your own companies? Okay, these are the things that you can think when you talk about, how are you going to develop your careers as employers, right? And then do you know your market trends? It's what you are doing, market needs it. How about your competitiveness? Any possible business opportunities? What is your company goals? And what kind of actions, skills, and especially the resources you need in order to achieve your career goals? Okay, so for employers, I would say that these are the questions that you might want to think if you want to adapt and develop in your careers and in expanding your companies as well. Okay, these are all very important questions for you to think about it. And then because I'm a counselor and then I study a lot of the human's behaviors here. So I look into in organizations parts, I look into human resource part more. Okay, so from my perspective, for the employers, are you ready yourself to adapt into the revolutions over here? Okay, do you plan to transform your business and plan to use more technologies, to boost up your productivity? If you plan so, who is going to implement those things? Is your people, is your, your staffs. Okay, You hire those staffs and then to make your business expand and to, employ more technologies, things, and to boost up your productivity. So who are you going to hire? The questions over here is, I would like to ask this because we know that the people that we are going to hire, okay, is probably the millennials or Generation Z that you're talking about, okay, especially in this, in this platform, okay, we're targeting the youth, the Generation Z. So do you understand them? Do you know their, working characteristics? Okay, so these are the internet informations which you can actually, research out of it. And then I'm just sharing over here, we know that Generation Y, they're tech-savvy persons, they're family-centric, they seek for the feedbacks, especially for the constructive feedback, okay? And the job hoppings, they have the trends. I used to have people to tell me that, nowadays the youngsters just don't stuck in one job. They don't have the loyalties to your companies, blah, 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 blah. I was like, this is their common traits. And then they are like that. But even though they are job hoppings, why they are job hoppings? Because they have their career goals, okay? Now, of course, some of my friends, some of my employer friends will share with me that, no, Karin, this is not because, they have their career goals. It's just that they cannot, tahan the stress of their working environments. They don't know how to communicate because they use too much of technologies. They lost the sense of communicate with people. I was like, they use a lot of Facebooks. Yeah, they use a lot of Instagrams, and then they kind of, that's their ways of make connections to people. So maybe if we change a bit of, adapt to their trends, maybe we can connect to them and then, try to convince them to stay in the jobs. So these may be one of, as employers, we may think of that. How can we adapt ourselves by learning those technologies and then to get engaged with our millennials, to our youth, to our Generation Z over here, okay? How can we engage these people into do the teamworks? A lot of them, they like to do individual works, okay? Because that is how they see the efficiency of it, okay? How can you use your culture, okay? Use your culture, working culture to encourage this teamwork and to reach your career goals. This is one of the things that we could think about, okay? So I found that, there's a lot of research in, let you understand what is Generation Z about and then understand how's their communication style and stuff, their working place ethic, those things, okay, which you can actually search through in the internet. You can actually know. Okay, now I want to highlight over here is their characteristics. You can see the communication medias, okay, comparing the baby boomers and then Generation X, especially the early Generation X, okay, we kind of, in the market field right now, job market field now, we are kind of, in the employers proportion, okay? So we are these, these slots of the generations and then hiring the next lots of Generation Y and Generation Z. So how can we work together? How can we work together? This is one of the key questions, okay? These Generation Z, they are born with technologies. I see my nephews and then it's my kids and then they just, once they born, they will just have a handphone and then the smartphone, the iPads, or the pads thingies to just click on it. How fast they learned. Okay, so if you want to communicate and work with these generations, okay, what to develop in ourselves, how to develop and adapt to these revolutions, the work revolutions here is we need to speak their language. We need to start to, take up some technology skills. We need to re-skill ourselves to fit and then to communicate with them. Of course, I wouldn't say that Generation Z don't do anything. They also have to learn. But in terms of the employer's perspective, I would say that, what we can do in adapting to these revolutions is we learned, we developed ourselves. If you don't learn the technologies now, you're going to, move out by the trend, by the market trend, for sure. Okay. So if you don't learn like me, if I don't learn Zoom, how can I communicate with all of you? No one teach me that. We have to, just download it and play with it. Okay. Just now, Henry teach me how to, on the audios while I play in the videos. So this is how we learn these technologies again, and then to re-familiarize with our current working environment. Okay, so if you want to adapt to this industry, you need to get prepared yourself cognitively or emotionally, that you need to spend sometimes to learn the technologies and to learn how can we use these technologies to boost up our performance, our work performance as well. And then also to drive up the company's revenues and then the productions. These are things that we need to, focus on, right? So especially like for my examples, as a counselor, we often do counseling services in face-to-face. We do group counseling, especially we need face-to-face because we observe the behaviors patterns, we observe the clients, how they react to each other, how they communicate with each other, how they deal with each other in the groups. Now, because of the pandemic, I have to relearn using internet, okay, using the Zoom, using the team meetings to guide my students how to do group counseling, how to, do face-to-face counseling in the internet. This is a bit tricky because I don't train as that. My training used to, just focus on, we get to an office and then we get to a room, counseling room, and then we get to talk to our clients, and then we focus so much on our clients. Now completely change. With a computer, we can do face-to-face, but a lot of the time our clients will just shut off the camera. We can't observe our clients. We can only put ourselves in the shoes that, leave ourselves in the listening part a lot. And we have to guess from their voice, what are they doing? And then how are they feeling and those things. So it's we need to retrain ourselves. We need to adapt ourselves to fit into the digital counselor's role. So it is hard because we are now learning and then striving to it. But it's fun also. I would see that it's fun also that I get to learn new things. And then I get to learn new technologies that can help people. And this is my passions. This is my career passions on it. So this is how I see that, in these revolutions, how we as an employer, how we as an employee, and then can try to adapt ourselves into these revolutions by relearning some skills, okay? By encourage ourselves to be mindful of these constant changing working environment, and to live with that and learn from it, okay? So how could we adapt in this revolution as an employer? First thing, be more empathy. Okay, I have to be more empathy is because sometimes, let's say, for example, if I see the clients online, I can't see him or her because they close their camera. And then I have to be more patient and then to be more empathized to see what kind of things that they have gone through, especially in this pandemic. Okay, a lot of us gone through some grief and losses. We lost our family members, we lost our cousins because of the COVID-19. And sometimes I heard that, some of my colleagues counselors share that, some of their clients do go through a huge crisis whereby they lost their jobs, they lost their wife, they lost their, kind of like everything in one days, they just lost it. And then they're dealing a lot of, emotions on it, very, very stressed out on it. So we have to be more empathized on that. If you are the employers in that companies, and if you see your employees, they are going through this, be more empathy and then be more mindful of what is going on around within our working community. Okay, so that we can actually, especially we need to be aware of our employees' mental health status. Okay, during this pandemic, it's more crucial and more serious than ever. Okay, but of course, I would, before you empathize and then you show your concerns to all of your employees, I would like to ask you yourself has to take care of yourself, has to take care of your own mental health as well. Because when you can take care of yourself, when you are in calm state, okay, when you can manage your own emotions and then your stress and then you grieve all these things, and you can understand more of your employees. Okay, this helps you to connect with your employees. And when there is a connections, I always believe in one thing. When there is a relationship, a connections between employers and employees, it kind of boosts up your productivity. Because there's less of misunderstanding, there's less of misconceptions over there. So it will fasten up your jobs. It will fasten up the productions as well. Okay, the work performance, it will boost up that. Okay, and of course, now a lot of people, and a lot of employers will say is that they can't sustain their employees because nowadays the millennials and the Generation X, like Mr. Henry just now said, we strive for the freedoms. So they go for the freelancer jobs. Well, what makes them want to go for there? Because of the freedom? I guess one other thing is, freedom is one thing. I guess one other thing is whether they have connections with you or not. If they have connections with you, if they have the relationship building up there, okay, you have helped them to develop their own careers. I suppose that, they will work for you. They will work with you. I don't say work for you. They work with you because they have their own goals and you have your own goals. You have mutual goals in your factory or in your company itself. Okay, so try to make this happen, connected with your employees. Now you will see that how your employees be your assets. Okay, so in behavior terms here, I would think that my sharing is try to cherish your talents, because they are the ones who help you to build up your productions, your sales, all these things. Okay, and then talk to them and then see how can we improve our company's rules and regulations to suit up them to let them more focusing on their own jobs instead of focusing on other stuff. Needs to do some tedious jobs over there. So improve the rules and your regulations in your companies, and then talk to your talk to your employees, because they know when they are working there, how they feel in your working environments. Talk to them, and they might have some, new suggestions and then some interesting suggestions for you to improve as well. So we mutually improve ourselves to each other and then make the companies more growth and then go for advance. Okay, understand the needs of employees is also key. But when it comes to understand the needs, I kind of have a second thought. Why, as employers, we want to understand the needs of employees? Why not we kind of create the needs? Instead of we understand their needs and then we try to fulfill their needs and then so that they can, work with you along. why not we create some values in your company here, create some cultures here whereby they love it, okay? It fits to their values and fits to their needs, and you can sustain them there, okay? So this is what I thought, what we can do as employers, okay? And then for the thinking part, I would especially, try out pinpoint the technologies itself, because the revolution itself is about the key data, big data technologies, okay? So be mindful for the technologies and then kind of learn that. Then you would adapt more easily, more smoothly to these revolutions, okay? The other thing is before I go to the cognitions, we talk about knowledge management, observing and make adjustment and encourage responses, those things. I would like to strive a little bit more on the career conversations and the behavior part, okay? How can we cherish our talents? How can we improve our rules and regulations, fulfill or create the needs of the employees, employer, manager? We do a career conversations. What is career conversations? Maybe some of you hasn't heard of it. Maybe some of you has heard of it. Now, I want to introduce these ideas to all the employers because I think this is important. Okay, having a career conversations with your employees is having some discussions with your employees and how to encourage them to grow, how to encourage them to fulfill their own career developments. And not because of, encouraging them and then helping them to develop their own careers. It kind of helps your companies to develop as well, okay? Because in a career conversation, we discuss about climate review, we discuss about how's the job satisfactions of the employees, morale and communications within the employees can help to, sustain them into your companies. How to boost up your rules and regulations and can, create a more colleague-friendly, career-friendly of the working environment. And everybody would like to work there. They might doesn't want to go back home anymore because the working environment is so comfortable for them to, learn and then work for meaning out of it. So if you could create these conversations with your employees, that will be a plus, okay? And within that conversations, you can also discuss your employees' strengths and talents, see whether you can take these things out of them or not, and then help them to seek where is the opportunity. If there is no opportunity, whereby you can create this opportunity for them, okay? How you know that some in times of this opportunity will also create another opportunity for your companies, right? So this is what we can do. Okay, so how can an employer help your employees to develop their careers? By talking to them, by supporting them, and discuss with them what is their career goals. You can start with questions like, what do you think of yourself in these companies? And then what is your career goals in your life? What do you want to achieve in future? What is your interest in your life? So starting from these questions, you can dive down and explore more of your employees' perspective. So look into that and then see whether their thinkings or their perspective can also beneficial to your organizations. And you can discuss mutual discussions over there, mutual agreements over there. How can these developments, these goals, career goals can help the organizations itself, right? So good career conversations has to lead to an actions. If that's only just talking, there's no action, then there's no results, okay? So we want to see the results as an employer. So action is the key point. Now, helping your clients, not clients, helping your employees to develop their roles, enhancing their connections, their networks. Nowadays, if you want to compete with your competitors, your networks is a key. When we talk about business, when we talk about the markets, we talk about networks. Okay, that's your assets. And how you build up the networks. It's not through robots. It's not through technologies there. It's not through the numbers. It is through yourself. It is through you, yourself, as an employer, as a person. We build connections with each other. That's how we build our networks, from a person to a person. Okay, so try to use this career conversation to enhance your employees, to expand and connect their networks. Okay, define their immediate next step to them, guide them, see where can they do, where can they act. The next step, little step will do. And you will see that by taking little step itself, it will have a huge developments in future. Okay, so sharpen up their skills, and it will be an asset in your company, in your organizations. This is how we see the staff, the employees as our assets, and as the assets to also expand our business as well. Okay, so I would like to just end up it, allow them to grow and develop their careers, take care of their assets. Okay, now we would like to know that a lot of us, because of the revolutions itself, it talk about knowledge, technologies, informations. Okay, you are not, I guess we are not unfamiliar with, the big data. What is big data? It kind of, the big data is there and also helps you a lot, and also by tracking you a lot, like Mr. Henry says. Whatever you use in the internet, you search for information there, your YouTube, your vibes, whatever, they just track your information usage or search. Okay, especially nowadays, I like to use Shopee to buy my foods outside, and I was so excited and impressed also to see whenever I look to that products, in a minute later, a similar products will come into my page, the Shopee page. And then I will see like which type of the similar products and what kind of the pricing is, kind of interests me. So these are what we talk about. Big data can help you to convenience your life. But these big data as well, this information, it's your knowledge in your company. Okay, so how are you going to manage this knowledge, okay, to boost up your productivity? Okay, so this knowledge is actually through your staff learning, your individuals, your group, your organizations. Okay, we doesn't want to train one person and then, they go off. In ancient time, we training a person and then they go off, we have to retrain another person. Now, no more. We train the knowledge. When the knowledge is there, we store it within our organizations. And when we store it, we kind of share it with all our employees or our organization teams. So when we can store and use the data which we already have there and we manage it, it will kind of fasten up our decision-making time, especially decision-making time. Okay. When we talk about a business battle or business rival, we talk about information. How much information you have in your hand right now? Okay, if we not want to know that whether this product is workable to resell it or not, we have to know what's the markets now, what's the information, what's the statistics, what's the consumers' behaviors, whether they like this kind of products or not. These are all informations. When this information is with you, then you can easily when you can easily access it, it will somehow, it can really fast to make your employee, you as employers to decide whether you want to employ this or not. Okay, so knowledge management is something that as an employer now, you need to know how you can manage this knowledge, how you can sustain and maintaining this knowledge, and it's important. Okay, so I guess this is what I just shared. Now, how you can manage this knowledge information is by encourage this knowledge to be shared. Okay, last time we want to, close up our informations. We think that this is a private things, and then we think that this information is our secret weapons. But hey, we kind of been tracking for all these informations. So how this information can be shared by all over the places. Now we don't have to, writing the reports up the levels by level hierarchical ourselves there, and then so that our managers can stay there and then think of 2 days and then come up with the decisions whether this proposal is okay or not. Now we can just split 1 second in just face to face, and then the employees and the employers just sit down and then talk about it, and then the information shared immediately. So the decision itself can be made very, very fast on it. So encourage the knowledge sharing is one of the key things. And using the technologies like groupware, workflow systems, e-learning systems, all these things you can actually find it in the internet. It's very easy to find it now. Just type in knowledge, okay, knowledge management technologies, and you can have a bunch of information on that. Okay, so this is how you need to be aware of this, just to sharpen up your decision-making process. Okay, so that you can observe and make adjustment on it. So this is how much I can share for the employers. Now, how about the employees? For the employees, I would share that, the employer's perspective. We seek for team workers who can adapt, especially nowadays in this pandemic, okay, in this revolutions. We seek for the team workers which can adapt easily and quickly, and they're willing to change and open for learning new skills, new technologies. We seek for that. And then, are you ready for that? Okay, for the employees, do you understand how much you understand of your career values, how much you understand of your career interest and your skills, especially the skills, partly of the technology skills? How much do you know about it? Are you struggling yourself to enter to the industry 4.0? If you're fresh grad, or if you're in a career transition period, are you struggling here? And do you have the skills to let you survive through these revolutions? And these are the things that you may want to think of it. Okay, I have compiled 4 item skills here for you to aware of it. One is the work readiness skills, and then second, soft skills. You heard a lot about soft skills, okay? Technical skills and entrepreneurial skills. So what are those work readiness skills and entrepreneurial skills that employers seek for you, okay, from you? Okay, these are the communications, key things. How you communicate via emails or using technologies, or what? Words are the things. How can you communicate clearly to your workers, to your team members? It's the key things for you to succeed your job, your career, and enhance or advance your careers as well. Okay, when you think that you have this, you're ready for your work. Okay, communications is the key things. Now, teamwork, integrity, okay, is another thing. And then I want to highlight the work ethic and problem-solving skills. Now, I heard a lot of some of my clients complain about their employers saying that they like to throw things to me, and then they like to throw a lot of work tasks for me, and then I can't cope with it. I feel stressed about that. And then I often will help them, I will encourage them to what exactly is a stress point. Deep down, it always comes to a stress point. It's because there are problems there and they can't solve it. In terms of communicate with the colleagues, I can't communicate to that person. I can't work with that person. It just drives me crazy. Okay, so problem emerged and then they can't solve it and then they get stressed. Okay, so the key things is how can you manage these problems and then how can you think of the ways to solve the problems that you just faced. It's the key things that the employer is looking into you. Okay, so try to, what I can share with you is try to identify your problem, where is it? And then try to think that, you can talk to someone who have the same similar problems. You can actually Google it as well. Okay, there are some forums out there, and then you can actually just post up your questions and then you will get answers from all over the places. And then you can, analyze it. This is how you analyze the data. And by analyzing, you might find something that will help you to solve your problems. Okay, your initiatives, your adaptability is something that employers look into you. Okay, so sharpen up these skills is what I can suggest to you. And for the entrepreneurial skills, now for the entrepreneurial skills part, I am not very worried about the millennials and also the Generation Z, because they kind of born with these skills because they like to be factuals, especially in their learning study time. Okay, they don't like these theories, all these things. When I talk to my students, they like to, hands-on, they like to solve these problems, they like to have scenarios on that. Okay, so they kind of have the skills that they can turn their ideas into actions. Okay, they can turn that. But for those who hasn't had these skills, you might want to sharpen up your creativity skills, your innovations, and especially one thing. Are you willing to take some risk? Okay, when we talk about risk taking, it's you are trying the new things. You are trying to put your ideas into some actions now. So these ideas, when come to put into actions, it might not work so smoothly. It might create some, problems on it. Would you like to take that risk? Okay, can you work through that? Now, this is something that you can think about it, and especially when you can take the risk and then to put your ideas into actions, then you can plan whether you can manage those projects or not. This is where employers seek for it. Okay, so for all these 4 skills, they are actually the transferable skills, which any kind of jobs, they will need it. So when you have these skills, okay, those skills that I'm not going to just read out, you can have a look on there. When you have these transferable skills, okay, it can help you to manage your jobs quite well already. Okay, so learn those soft skills, technical skills, especially now the techniques. Okay, it will help you in your career development. Okay, especially in this industry, right? Okay, yeah, this is webmail. I put here is because I would like to share. I have an experience that I work with my colleagues right now because I have no idea. I kind of use Google Mail a lot. Okay, so this webmail system, it's a very new experience for me, and it's also a new experience with my colleagues as well. We don't use webmail at all. So when the time that the companies introduced this webmail to us that time, we were struggling where to bold up, writing up the message also hard for us. We are struggling to find where is the button to save the draft. Where is the button, that can allow me to underline my words? Okay, I searched through for the whole day and I can't find a button until that, I seek for my colleague help. Okay, so these are the journeys that we as an employer or employee when we are learning, reskilling ourselves at time, we might go through. Okay, the frustrations, the stress out, the the very, very frustrated when you can't find the button. Okay, but it's a very, very fun journey to learn with it. When you look back into the time, then we will laugh. Me and my colleagues will still laugh at it. Why we can't see the button over there? It's just one click. Okay, so this is a really funny. Now, Benioff, the CEO of Salesforce, did say that speed is a new currency of business. And I'm sure that a lot of employers agreed with this statement. But what I'm sharing here is not about his values. What I'm trying to ask you all is, what's your career values? What's yours as an employer? What's yours as an employee? How would you develop your career? You see, Benioff, he has this mindset, he has these values, okay, for his careers. Okay, so that's why he looked for it, and then that's why he expanded his businesses over there by spinning out all these technologies, those things. Okay, now what's yours? Once you created your own career values, it kind of drives you to boost up your career developments. Okay, so these are things that you might want to think of it. Now, for the job seekers, do you know your job market? Do you know your market value? Do you know yourself? Okay, look for your resources. Okay, there are informations outside there. You can research through a lot, which I think yesterday's the speakers has shared a lot of this. So I'm not going to share these things in this slide. All I can actually suggest you to look for the resources that you have. If you don't have, no worries, come to us. Okay, Skybi might help you on that. We can guide you how to know about your job market, how to know about your market values, and especially how to know about yourself. Just click on that button, career assessments there. In the job fair there, you see the button over there. Just click on the buttons, and then the rest, let us handle that. Okay. Now, just probably in the end of the time already, I'll just share my where I might come from. We are newly startup social enterprise that aim for providing mental health services to the community in need. So we have these free counseling services, individual, couple, family, career counseling also, psychotherapy also, and these we can have like free counseling for community. Okay. But for corporate counseling, we don't offer free yet. So if you are like to know more about our services, we welcome you to click on that myskybi.com to make an inquiry with us, and we are happy to talk to you, and we are happy to discuss with you how we can serve you. Right now, thank you very much. I guess this is what I want to share today.
All right, so thank you so much, Miss Kylie, and thank you everyone for joining us and spending your weekend with us together with Miss Kylie and Mr. Henry. And before I end this, please stay tuned with us as we have Agency Pekerjaan HR, Flex and Vitrox will be joining us later at 2 p.m. They would be sharing about their company's background, their overview of their company, what are the jobs that they are providing. So stay tuned at 2 p.m. And last but not least, PYDC is also having an interview session. So don't forget to come. And if you are ready, especially the job seekers, if you are ready for an interview, join us from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the positions that we are offering is communication executive, program executive, and also internship. So that is all for today. Thank you so much, everyone.
Fresh from school with 1 or 2 experience,
positive thinking,
bercita-cita tinggi,
energetic,
good attitude,
passionate people,
discipline,
and willing to learn.
The age is not important.
SPM, or diploma, or degree.
we want you.
NationGate is in the midst of expansion.
we are looking for young people like you. Join us at 10 Performance Penang.
Vitrox is hiring.
Cameron Security,
UWC, Professional Tool and Dies.
EasyWay Solution Security Company.
If you are looking for a career with a high growth company,
Go to PYDC website to submit your CV to us. Content moderation, customer service executive,
security guard, security assistant,
IT web developers, multimedia designers.
Engineering staff, technical staff,
Trainer, lecturer,
Supervisors.
young people, we want you.
Andalah yang kami tunggu dan andalah yang kami cari. Anda dapat bekerja dalam persekitaran kerja yang positif serta diberi pendedahan dan latihan yang luas.
Go to PYDC website, send your resume to us.
Automotive,
aviation,
oil and gas.
medical,
BPO,
process engineering, telecommunication,
We want you.
If you are the right candidates, please go to PYDC website for more details.
Penang is full of career opportunities, especially for the young people. It is a great place to live and work.
Discover your career opportunity from PYDC website. Your future starts here in Penang.
Because of you, we focus on every little detail, exploring every delicate chapter on the journey. We believe everyone is capable of endless possibilities. Follow the vision in every step. We found excitement. With your blessing, we have unlimited strength, bringing out our best and sustaining it at all times. This is important to us. Our essence is most grounded when we are contributing, all of us, at each and every moment, uniting us to walk the right path. As we aid others, we are learning from the trials of everyday life. It recalls us to value the first thing that actually matters. It is you who have made us different. This is our journey towards greatness.